Hi guys. Hi guys, indeed. It's Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you guys are all well. Late tonight. I just want to finish up the podcast and give you guys a chance to watch some of the Europa League stuff, if that's what takes your fancy. Looks like Celtic are going out. It's quite funny. I heard some fella on the radio this morning, Rangers fan, and they were asking him, who do you fancy in the next round? And he, as a joke, he said Copenhagen. And it looks like Celtic are going to do the business and get beaten by Copenhagen. Pretty poor show from them. But it's what it is. So, yeah, that looks like that's going to happen. And Arsenal are losing 1-0 at home to Olympiacos. That's going to be very interesting to see if Arsenal lose that. Hi, Ikram, Jack, and Abdallah Alamami. Have they appealed it? I heard they were going to appeal it. It's not to appeal, to be honest, because he, first of all, he's put his arm on him, and did he tangle with his legs just a little bit as well? But he's put his arm on him, so that's good enough for me. It's a bit soft, but those things are given, and there's not to appeal. Really, in my book. Adam, hi. Hope you're well. Hope you guys are all well. I'm just gonna pop this onto Twitter. So yeah, so it's our news update. Basically, it's not gonna be a massive one. We're gonna gloat a bit. Real Madrid. We're going to do player ratings for the Real Madrid game. Okay, that's the idea today. Player ratings for the Real Madrid game. Has it sunk in yet? Has it sunk in? I'm not sure if it's sunk in with everybody. It's a very good feeling, guys. It's a very good feeling to have beaten Real Madrid in their backyard. We had a good old chinwag about it last night. But it's the first time in 7 games that we beat Real Madrid. First time in our history, but it's only been first time I think we played them was 2012. So it's not as if we played them a lot, but they are European royalty, so we've beaten, we knocked them. We've got a very good chance of getting through. But as people have said, game's not over. Tie's not over. There's still a long way to go, and we cannot count our chickens yet. We certainly can't do that because Real Madrid haven't got to where they've got to and won the games they've won and won the number of Champions Leagues they've won by accident and without being able to hit back. Bernard, hey, Bernard, good to have you in the house. Zohaib, you as well, and Ikram. Oh yeah, when that Kevin De Bruyne penalty went in, I leapt out of my seat, absolutely leapt out of my seat, and a little bit of jumping around. And if you guys watched the stream yesterday, you've seen a bit of dancing. Fingers crossed. Abdallah Mami, that would be excellent news. Right, we're going to get into this quite quickly. Already got 10 of you in on the stream. So we're going to get onto the player ratings. So let's go through the player ratings. I'm going to give them an 8 to start with because we've done it's a magnificent thing to do. And then I'm going to go up and down from that 8. So is 8 too high? Is 7 a better number? No, I'll start with 8 because I want to give good marks tonight. So Edison, let's go with Edison. Now, I don't think Edison had a tremendous amount to do. There was that Benzema header, which he did save. I think he could have done better. So we'll start with 7 then, Bernard. We'll go, that's the normal one. So we'll start with 7 across the board and we'll go up and down from there. So we'll start with 7 then. Stuart Brennan gives him an 8. Brennan gives him 7. I've got to give him a 7 as well. Now, the thing for me is that the great save he did make from Benzema's header, he just pushed it. He pushed it back into the danger zone instead of pushing it wide. I think that's required to be pushed wide. So he did the first part well by making a wonderful save. Second part by not pushing it wide, lost him a bit of marks with me. But he did okay. They wouldn't allow him. The passing wasn't great, Ikram, but I think he was forced to do long passes all the time. So you've got no element of surprise. So it's one of the reasons he can get away with some of the long passes is because the opposition are focused on the short pass, and he'll surprise them. Whereas they were kind of focused on both because they had 4 or 5 men stopping the short passes. So they knew before it even passed the ball that it was going to be long. So I think that affected him. Hi, good to have you back, Jason. James Phoenix gives him a 7. Bernard kicking off. Yeah, but I think that was a problem partly caused by the fact that he had no choice but to kick long and very long. And then it's in the lap of the gods because, our players are not the kind of players that you expect Maris to win headers and KDB and Bernardo Silva. It's not happening. Derek gives a 7, Jack Lee 7, 7 from Abdallah Al-Mami, 7 from Adam, 7 from James Phoenix, 7 across the board. Bernard gives him a 6. 6 long balls to no one. Are you giving him a 6 now, Bernard? Anyway, I don't worry about that Muppet. I don't mind. Let's just move on. Kyle Walker. Now, Kyle Walker, I thought, had a pretty decent game. He burned Gareth Bale for pace. He did well against Vinicius. Was that his name? Vinicius Jr. He did well against him. He did have that brain fart when I think he should have just launched the ball when we were under a bit of pressure with that mistake from Rodri and Otamendi. I'm going to give him a 7 because for all the good stuff, he lost it a little bit with that bit of a brain fart. Bernard's giving him a 7. Stu Brennan 7. Derek 7.5. I'm giving a 7. Let's move. James is going to give a 7 as well. So let's move on to Otamendi. Well, let's have a look at your marks. Abdallah 7, 8 from Ikram. Walker looked like he belongs in these big European heavyweight clashes. Very comfortable. Yeah, I don't deny that most of the game, but that mistake that contributed to their goal, I've got to knock him down a bit. Otamendi. Well, I thought Otamendi had a decent game, pretty decent game. There were a couple of errors. The one where he was slightly culpable for the goal with what's his face, Rodri. I blame Rodri more. 4. Is Stuart Brennan talking out of his Stuart Brennan? I don't go with that. I think Otamendi had a good game apart from a couple of mistakes, which I think is fair dues. Derek 7.5, Abdallah 7, James Phoenix 6, Jack Lee 7. 4 is ridiculous. 6.5 is kind of the level. Bernard, Abdallah gives him 6. My mate Stormy 6.5. Rindolo, we're not on to Dino yet, man. Wait for it. Rindolo, Jack Lee 6, 7 from Ikram. Yeah, I'm gonna give Otamendi 7 actually because I think it was more Rodri's mistake, and he made one mistake when I think he charged out against Vinicius Jr. and he got turned. But apart from that, I thought he had a solid enough game. We'll do Laporte because he did start the game. Adam's giving him 6.5. Laporte only lasted 33 minutes or something before he went off injured. I thought up to that point, yeah, he was all right. He's a guy who can spray the ball around. 6 for Laporte. I'm going to give him 6.5 because Benzema header, where maybe he was injured before that and he couldn't continue and he couldn't leap up. I wouldn't go anywhere near Abdallah. I don't think so. Ikram gives him 6.5. James gives him a 6. Jack Lee 7. Derek 7. Bernard and Stu Brennan give him a 6. And my mate Stormy, bad mistake, 5.5. The pot gets 6.5 from Ikram. So I think I don't know. Sorry, Abdallah, you're kind of out of kilter here with the 8. Well, do Fernandinho because he did. Come on, yeah. I hope it's not a bad injury, Adam. It's only gut reaction speculation. It's not. It's not going to be a reoccurrence of his old injury. I think we'll have a better idea tomorrow in the press conference for the Carabao Cup game. Pep will give us some information there. I'm sure of it. Someone said to me today it was a hamstring injury. I don't think it's going to be massively serious if it's a hamstring injury, but it might keep him out for a couple of weeks, which, I mean, some big games. We've got, obviously, the Carabao Cup final. We've got the FA Cup 5th round next Wednesday, I think. And we've got the derby against United on Sunday. So some big games coming up. So fingers crossed it's not too serious. Guilty Laporte is one of my favourites, Abdallah. But come on, guys, you've got to be objective here. Ikram Fernandinho, the underrated legend, 9. I don't know where City would be without him the last couple of seasons. Look, he only might have played about 60 minutes. But he showed us why I thought he should have started. He was very good again. Generally very comfortable. He had a couple of deflections, which the second one for that shot by Ramos, I think, really saved our bacon, saved our biffa there. So I think Fernandinho had a very good game. I'm going to give him an 8. Eric's given an 8. James, 8. Vital blocks, absolutely, James. I can't agree anymore. Fernandinho, 8, made vital blocks when we were on the ropes, because we were on the ropes when he made those blocks. Bernard gives him a 7.5. Stu Brennan, tight. Stu Brennan gives him a 7. What my reaction when you saw no Fernandinho lineup? I was amazed, Ikram, just like you. I was shocked, because I thought, well, if he's not in the centre back, then surely he'll be at DM. And he was at none of them. Jack's can give Fernand 9. Wow. How about Ben Mendy? Abdallah gives him an 8. So let's look at Ben Mendy. Now, the yellow card that he got, I think, was a joke. It's absolute joke. It's very soft. And I was a bit concerned that he'd get himself sent off. But to his credit, he put in a decent performance, did Mendy, overall. And what shall I give him? He put a couple of good crosses, and I'm going to give him a 7.5. I think Oscar's giving him a 6. Derek's 6.5. I'm giving him 7.5. Abdallah's giving him a 7. I just felt he was an outlet when we needed him to be. He's becoming a bit more consistent. Sloppy passes, but I think 7's decent. Abdallah gives him a 7. Ikram 7.5. He did well to cope with an unfairly. I mean, that spoils your game a bit, because you can't go into some hard tackles. Jack Lee's given him a 6, but I thought he had a decent enough game. Let's go for Rodri. Might be a bit controversial here, because I'm just deliberating with a 6 or a 6.5. He did make that mistake for the goal. He made some other sloppy passes. I think, I was disappointed. Probably our worst player on the night. I'm going to give him a 6. James has given him a 6. Stu Brennan 5. Bernard gives him 5.5. Jack Lee 6. Oscar 7. Derek 7. Both given 6. All right, so I was reading the Mendy one. So 6 for Rodri. Jack Lee's given him 6. Yeah, look, he's got a long way to go. He's still young. Give him time. Abdallah's given him a 6. And Rodri gets a 5.5 from Ikram. Let's move on to Gundogan. No, I thought he had a decent game. A bit slow for me, the way we were moving up. I want a bit faster play, just to prevent the other team from regrouping. But when we're breaking, end of the day, I think Gundogan had a decent enough game. Solid enough for me. I'm going to give him a slightly above average. I'm starting off at 7. I'm going to give him a 7.5. Oscar's giving him 7.5. Derek Cooper gives him a 7. James Phoenix gives him a 7. Just waiting for a couple more. Ikram 7.5. His pass for Riyad Mahrez was sensational. Gundo gets a 7 from Jack, and Abdallah Alamami and Bernard and Stu Brennan give him a 6. Moving on to KDB. KDB. I thought it was a good game. Did a lot of running. Worked really hard. In fact, I'm going to give him an 8. I was going to be back to give him a 7.5. But he scored that penalty, well-taken penalty. He put the cross in for the goal for Gabby J. Bernard's given him an 8. Derek's 8.5. Oscar 8.5. James is 8 or 9. That's why you could go for 8.5. I'm giving him an 8. Colin Pollitt, hi Colin. KDB gets 8.5, and Ikram gives him 8.5. Chief Raiden 8. Bernard gives him a 9. Abdallah gives him an 8. So a very, very good performance from KDB. Jack Lee gives him a 9. Let's go for Riyad Mahrez. I was a bit disappointed with Mahrez. I thought he could have given more, but I understand the position he was playing. And he had a couple of good chances, that was the Gundogan pass to Mahrez, where Mahrez hit it with his right foot, where I actually thought that's the time to come on your left, because he wasn't set enough well to hit it on his right but he hit it with decent power to near the keeper. Stu Brennan gives him a 7, Bernard gives him a 6, 6 from Chief Raiden, Oscar 7, Derek 7.5. I'm going to give him a 7. KDB taking the free kick after Ramos foul. It's a possibility, yeah. Ikram gives him 6.75. Come on, no halves is okay. Jack Lee 7. Dunk gives him a 9. I don't know where you're getting that from, Dunk. I think it's a bit too generous. Abdallah gives him a 7. He is selfish, a bit greedy, but I was disappointed that when he had that shot, was it in the first half, way wide? He's got to be hitting the target. The shot with his right foot that Courtois saved down to his right, I think he could have done slightly better. I had another shot but that was straight down Courtois' throat. I was talking. Sorry, Dunk. If you're going to give 9 to KDB, that's fine. I think we just moved on to Mahrez. James, near the end of the game, when everyone told him off for lack of marking, showed his lack of defence, work rate 6.5. He could have worked a bit harder, but as I said, I'm starting with 7, and he didn't sparkle and he wasn't rubbish, so I'll stay with the 7. We'll move on to Bernardo Silva. If I'm going to give Mahrez 7, I've got to give Bernardo 7 as well. Look, for me, he was picked for his work rate. He put a lot in, up and down, playing centre forward at times. So yeah, I'll give him that. Duncan Mahrez is worth his weight in gold, like the chance he made versus Leicester. Yes, but we're talking about this game. I think he could have. I wanted more from him. Oscar gives him 7. Jack Lee 7. 7 from Stuart Brennan. Bernard gives him a 6. Bernardo gets a 7 from Abdallah. Bernardo still gets a 6 from Ikram. 7 from Colin. 6.5 from Dunk. Yeah, at times Bernard, but I thought he had at least an equal as a game as Mahrez did. Right, I think I know who's going to get the man of the match. Gabriel Jesus. Now, once again, he worked tremendously hard up and down that pitch. Early on he was at left back heading the ball. I think he had a fabulous game. Scored the goal. I think he needed the goal. For his confidence to score a goal at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid in the knockout stage of the Champions League, when your team needs a goal, I'm going to give him a very good mark. For me, I'll go through your marks. So Abdallah gives him an 8. Chief Raiden 9. Dre 8.5. Oscar 9. Bernard gives him an 8. Stu Brennan gives him a 9. Queen vs King gives him a 10. Derek Cooper 8.5. Colin Pollock 8.5. Dunk 9. Him and KDB the linchpins, and Raheem when he came on. Dre got a sneak in. City. Jesus channels in a company defensive last night. Scored a great goal performance. Saved James 8.5. Ikram gives him a 9. Can't fault him for anything except for shooting straight at Courtois with his first shot. And that's why I only give him a 9. I'd have given him higher mark if he made Courtois work properly. He should have got it. He hit it on target. That's the first thing you got to do. But he hit it straight at Courtois. And to be honest, if Courtois hadn't saved it with his hands, it hit him in the face. So, Gabby should have been putting it wide. And if Courtois was going to make a save, it'd have had to be a fabulous save rather than what it was. It was quite an easy save. Abdallah says Jesus is priceless, irreplaceable, and vital, but he's got to be on his game. That's all I'm ever going to say about Gabby Jesus is he's got to be more consistent, and although he didn't do it too much yesterday, I don't think he did it at all. he's got to just make sure he stays onside. When he gets knocked down, don't stay down. Don't float looking for a free kick or whatever or a penalty. You got to get back up and get at it. We saw against Leicester, even though he did score, just a minute or two before that, he'd gone down easily in the box and he was asking for a penalty rather than get up and chase back. And they made him. They were a bit wasteful, Leicester, down when they broke, and then we broke through Mahrez, and Gabby Jesus scored the goal. So he's just got to get that consistency, and he could be the business. And I don't normally give a mark for someone who's not played too long unless they've made a mark. So Sterling came on and he made a mark. I think, did he make the break for the pass to KDB? I can't remember that now. But he made a couple of breaks, and then obviously he won the penalty. So I've got to give him some marks. I'm going to give Sterling 7.5. Jesus misses a lot of chances. That's my only criticism. Rindolo, well, 3 criticisms. He goes down a bit too easily, and he doesn't win the penalties and free kicks. He is caught offside too often, and he doesn't score enough from the chances he gets. Abdallah, I said it for ages that I wanted, Aguero to play up top. And when Raheem Sterling, for me, was playing poorly, I wanted Gabby Jesus out on the left to give Raheem Sterling that pressure for him to know if I don't come up with the goods every time, I might get dropped. Bernard and Stu Brennan give him a 7. Oscar give him a 7.5. Sterling's pace was very useful and allowed Jesus back to centre, says James. Absolutely. He's improved on his offside tremendously, says Bernard. I don't think he's been offside in the last 2 games, which is quite remarkable. Jack Lee gives Sterling a 7. Colin says he changed the game, give him an 8. Abdallah gives Sterling a 7. Chief Redding says, I agree with Alhambra, Jesus' new left wing. Well, maybe not, but the good thing is he can play up front or on the left, so he can float around. When you've got Bernardo Silva floating between the centre and out wide, when you've got KDB floating between the centre and out wide, it is that false 9, and it does cause teams some problems. Ikram gives Sterling a 7.5, had an instant impact with his lightning pace that helped us win the penalty. Oh, wow. So, Pep. Dunk says Sterling did more in the 20 minutes than he did since Atlanta away. Absolutely, Dunk. Pep, look, the thing with Pep is he changed things around. He switched it around formation-wise, personnel-wise, and the way we set up. I'm loath to give him a 10. If we'd lost that game 1-0, he'd have taken a lot of criticism from the way he set up in terms of tactics, in terms of formation, in terms of positioning, in terms of personnel. But bottom line is, we won the game, so he can take the plaudits. And I said it on the podcast I just finished. It is a fine line. You lose 1-0, you get the brickbats. You win 2-1, you get the plaudits. But we deserved that overall. Real Madrid had very few chances. Obviously, the goal they scored, that was our own downfall. We created that goal for them with our mistakes. They had another couple of opportunities, the Benzema header that was saved, and then the missed follow-up by Vinicius Junior, and a shot by Ramos that I think Fernandinho blocked and pushed it wide. Or it's over. It deflected off him over the bar, I think. But we had so many chances. That Gabby Jesus half chance in the first half. We had the other chance that was cleared off the line. We had the Mahrez right foot shot that was just a little bit too weak. Obviously, we had the 2 goals. I think we had the free kick at the end. We had the Mahrez shot that went wide in the first half that he should have got on target. So we had 4 or 5 other half decent chances, if not good chances, and as well as the 2 goals. So I think very, very well deserved win. Let's go through your scores then. Jack Lees gives Pep a 10. Oscar says Pep got it right. Bernard's giving him a 9. Tane, sell him, and Jesus on the left striker to replace Aguero long term. I agree, Abdallah. You can't. I want someone who can do like what Gabby Jesus did. He can play left wing and he can play up top. I want someone who can, you feel confident that you can play up top or on one of the wings. Oscar gives Pep a 9. Pep gets a 10 from Abdallah Alamami. Ikram gives Pep 8. Derek gives him a 9. Duncan gives him a 10. Maliko, Mahrez, Milan. My best team for the champions. Edison, Walker, Mendy, Fern, Laporte, Rodri, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Sterling, Mahrez, Jesus. Ref gets a 9 from Bernard. I was about to come to him. I'm going to give Pep 8.5. I thought, he's worked very hard, possibly overthinking it, but he's worked very hard for this game. Bernard's going to give the ref a 9. I thought the ref he made a couple of mistakes, but look, it's a fast-paced game of football. That's easy to do. I think the yellow card to Mendy was a bit soft, but to the ref's credit, then he became reasonably consistent. So when Real Madrid players did something, they got the deserved bookings too. So you can't really question and argue about that. Abdallah says Real Madrid are in transition. So will we be at the end of the season, Abdallah. I'll be surprised if more than 9 of these players start the first meaningful game next season. I think there'll be 3 or 4 new players coming in. Vinicius Jr. tried to play a boss, but he didn't. And then they come out and complained about the ref today. It's pathetic. So Ramos, they're appealing Ramos' red card, I think, and Vinicius Jr.'s come out and complained about the referee. Colin says, Pep, we'll never know if we attacked as normal with Aguero, etc. If the game would have been more convincing. I agree, Colin. You're giving him an 8. The thing is, we don't know. But one of our big problems in the Champions League has been letting goals. Against Monaco over 2 legs, 6 goals, we get knocked out. Liverpool over 2 legs, 5 goals, get knocked out. Spurs over 2 legs, 4 goals, get knocked out. It's always been because of the number of goals we've conceded. We've ended up getting knocked out. So I welcome this defensive performance, but we still won 2-1 and we could have won 3 or 4. So, if you can get your defensive stuff right, we still have the quality to score goals. And that's important. Dre has given Pep a 9. Ref gets a 7 from Jack Lee. Colin Pollock gives the ref 7.5. 7 from Ikram was harsh on Mendy, but also didn't get influenced by the crowd. Jack Lee gives him a 7. Fat bloke sat next to Pep, 5. Cheeky Bernard. That's Rodolfo. That's my mate Rodolfo. That I've met a few times. I've got some selfie with Rodolfo. But most of those coaches are all right. I thought it was a yellow, got almost everything right. I didn't think Mendy deserved the yellow for that. But the referee was quite consistent, so you can't argue too much. Yeah, absolutely don't. They were diving. That's what you'd expect, and they didn't let us down. So they were diving and complaining about Real Madrid and Barcelona are teams that get so many favors from the referees. It's incredible, and they didn't get something here, and they're crying. Pathetic. Penalty unsavable, Bernard. I got to agree, Bernard, because Kevin, besides sending the goalkeeper wrong, I mean, that's one of the great things. If you can send the keeper the wrong way and you hit it on target, you'll score. That's great. But even if the keeper dived the right way, he'd have had to dive right into that corner. KDB didn't leather it, he didn't blast it, and he didn't hit it in the air at a savable height if the keeper had dived the right way. If the keeper had dived the right way, he'd have had to be stretching along the ground to save that. I think that was a very difficult penalty to save. Zinchenko can do a job at left back. Well, I think it probably will be Zinchenko at left back. Possibly might be Cancelo. But it's going to be, who knows? Pep might throw us another curveball and play Laporte at left back, or play 3 at the back. I mean, why can't we go in something like a 3-5-2? Change it up again. Colin says, could Sane play in the cup final, or would that be unfair on the guys? First, it'd be unfair on the guys who got us there. Second, I don't think Sane can start in the League Cup final because he's not played this season. Okay, and even though he's fit, he's not match fit. He's certainly not going to start him. I can't believe he's going to do that. He might start Raheem Sterling in the cup final, just to give Villa, a lot more to think about. Yeah, I think it's a hard one to say. Ikram says the league even let Barcelona. Yeah, that's pathetic what they've done with their rules. Colin says could sign a play. Oh, we've just done that. Any of our players suspended for the second leg? Ben Mendy's suspended, Chief Red, and that's how we talk about Zinchenko at left back. Yeah, I think we'll have Bravo in net. We could have Cancelo starting. We could have Otamendi again. Laporte. I'd be tempted to play Laporte just to get him some more game. Sorry, Laporte's going to be injured probably. Otamendi and Stones. Or Otamendi and Fernandinho. I think at left back, I'd play Mendy. If he's fit. If he's not fit, then obviously Zinchenko. Midfield, I'd probably just go for one with Rodri. I'd have KDB and Bernardo, but I think that'd be KDB and David Silva. And up front, I'd probably go with Mahrez, Aguero, Sterling or Jesus. Right, guys, I think that's me lot. 30 minutes. Garcia, I don't think Garcia didn't play against United. So the kids like Garcia and Foden played against, was it Preston and Oxford. When it got tough, they were not picked in the semi-final. So I don't think they'll get picked for the final. I don't think he's injured, Colin. No, he was on the bench last. He was in the travelling squad last night. I don't think he wasn't on the bench, but he was in the travelling squad, Colin. So he's not injured, as far as I'm aware. Villa beat us 3 out of 4 League Cup games. Well, it's time for some dishing out some retribution. Is the right word. Don't Barca, Real Madrid, Liverpool all cry over calls that aren't not supposed to go their way. The entitlement is real. Absolutely, Dunk. No question about that. Guys, I think that's the lot. Thanks very much for coming on tonight. Tomorrow, we should do a stream in the afternoon, which will be the stream for the press conference for the Carabao Cup final. I did a couple of videos today with Jude, an Aston Villa supporter. I'm just going to... I think we had a slight problem with some of the audio, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get that. But if I can't, I'll have to do it again tomorrow. But guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's been nice to go over yesterday's very, very beautiful win for City. And cheers to Jack, Colin, and Abdallah, and everybody else for coming on tonight. Ikram, what day do these podcasts come out? Is it a weekly thing? No, Ikram, the podcasts we normally do usually a day or two after the game. So the Real Madrid game was yesterday. We recorded the podcast today. It'll come out. It should come out overnight. Sometimes there are problems with the audio and editing, and sometimes it might take a bit longer. But I think the one we did today should come out tomorrow. And we got some, good old City fans in Mike Long and Colin Savage, who is our finance expert. He's a King of the Kipax writer, and he is also a City Matters representative. So one of the fan reps that meet with the club every 6 weeks or so. So they normally come out within 2 days of the game that's just gone. Oscar, thanks very much, mate. Cheers, Abdallah. Guys, take it easy. And Oscar as well. And stay safe. Have a good evening. And we'll catch you tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Cheers, guys.